Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the January 16, 2025 Guelph Police Services Board open meeting. I'm just going to note that today Vice Chair Armstrong has sent her regrets and is not able to attend. I'm going to start off with our territorial announcement, a call to order. As we gather, let us take time to reflect upon our privilege to live and work in Guelph, a city built over rich Indigenous histories. We are guests here, and we should reflect upon the responsibility to care for this land, the people who live here today, and the generations to come. If our actions today can move us toward reconciliation, we should take pause and make those decisions with intention and gratitude. This place we call Guelph has served as the traditional lands and a place of refuge for many peoples over time, but more specifically the Attawandarunk and the Haudenosaunee. This land is held as treaty lands in territory with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Guelph lies directly adjacent to the Haldimand Tract and is part of a long-established traditional hunting ground for the Six Nations of the Grand River. Many First Nations, Inuit, Métis peoples who have come from across Turtle Island call Guelph home today. Okay, I'm going to start by asking, are there any declarations of conflict or interest or pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Hearing none, I will declare that item closed. Next item is the community account resolutions. Mayor Guthrie, I believe you have a motion.
Yes,
motions to enact.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'll move for the our local police association request for upcoming training and conference of $4,000 and the motion for, I think it's called ECOC from the University of Guelph for $250.
Okay, I believe it's actually Enactus, but yes. Okay, do we have a seconder for that motion? It's Mr. Sharma. All in favor?
I'm in favor, Mr. Chair.
Opposed? Hearing none, I declare that item carried. Those items carried. Next item is approval of the agenda. If I can get a mover for approval of the agenda. Councillor Alt and seconded by Mr. Sharma. All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, I'll declare that motion carried. And then we have a motion to deal with the consent agenda. If any member has an item that they would like to have removed from the consent agenda, we can add it to the discussion agenda. But can I have a mover for the consent agenda then, please? Moved by Councillor Alt, seconded by Mr. Sharma. All in favor? All in favor?
I'm in favor.
Opposed? I declare that item carried. Okay, now our item 6.9 is the appointment of the board chair and the vice chair for the 2025 year. So at this point, I'm looking for if there's anybody who wants to make a motion for a chair.
I'll move you as chair, Peter.
Thank you. Seconder? Okay, Councillor Alt. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll declare the nominations closed and that I will be the chair for the 2025 year. Next item is the nominations for vice chair. Can I hear nominations for the vice chair? Councillor Alt. Phil, you're on mute.
Thank you. Apologies. Mr. Chair, I'd be happy to nominate Ms. Armstrong. However, she is not here. Do we have any indication whether she is willing to continue her term?
I can advise that I've spoken to Ms. Armstrong about that, and she is requesting not to be the vice chair for the coming year.
Very well. Then I would be happy to nominate Mr. Sharma without even asking him.
Is there a seconder of that nomination?
I guess. Yes, I'll second it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Alt.
Mr. Sharma, do you consent to being voluntold to be the chair, the vice chair?
And I would be humbled to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. In that case, any other nominations for the position of vice chair? Hearing none, I will declare that item of business closed, and that Mr. Sharma will be the vice chair for the 2025 coming year. Okay, the next item.
Mr. Chair, just a point of order. I just don't think you ever called the actual vote for either yourself as the chair or Ajay as the vice chair. I don't think you ever called the actual vote on those, just for the minutes.
Thank you, Mayor Guthrie. Okay, can I have a vote in favor of myself being as chair for 2025? All in favor?
In favor.
Opposed? Hearing none, I'll declare that motion carried. All in a motion in favor of Mr. Sharma serving as vice chair for the 2025 year. All in favor?
In favor.
Opposed? Hearing none, I'll declare that item carried as well. Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Sharma. Okay, next item is to bring to your attention, well, I guess we do need a motion, that under the Community Safety and Policing Act, the new legislation removes the S from services in our title, and there's a motion to approve and adopt the official name change. To that effect, we need a motion that per the Community Safety and Policing Act, Part 4, Section 31, Sub 1, the board shall now be known as the Guelph Police Service Board. Can I get a motion in favor of that? Moved by Councillor Alt, seconded by Mr. Sharma. All in favor?
In favor.
Opposed? Hearing none, I'll declare that carried. Next item, Chief Kobe, if I could call upon you to give us a report on the aggregate disciplinary measures in 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
This new report, this will be the first time the board has seen the report. It's prepared pursuant to Section 215 of the Community Safety and Policing Act. And this new reporting requirement under the Act hasn't been presented before. Going forward, there'll be 2 reports prepared on a semi-annual basis in accordance with Section 9.1 of the Community Safety and Policing Act. And it's essentially mandatory reporting to provide the board with a high-level information on disciplinary matters addressed by the service throughout the year. What you have before you is the report from April 1st to December 31st, 2024. And essentially that captures the actions taken in relation to the one disciplinary matter that was impacted by this new act in reporting. And it was one situation that was resolved via a penalty of 34 hours. You'll see in the page 2 of the act or the report, the rest of the reporting areas were zeros. So it's just mandatory reporting, and you'll get one of those every 6 months moving forward.
Thank you, Chief Kobe. Any questions or comments from members of the board with respect to that? Okay. Hearing none. Chief Kobe, if you can provide us with your monthly update.
Perfect. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I have 2 updates that I'm going to provide, and then Inspector Goody is going to give an update in relation to our downtown safety initiative that's been going on for several weeks now. First, I wanted to bring to the board and the community's attention. So we're going to be hosting a second information session on human trafficking. As the board is aware, our new strategic plan specifically identified the need to ensure increased supports for victims and survivors of human trafficking and intimate partner violence as a dedicated area of focus and very important priority for our service and our community. This supports and is aligned with the unanimous motion passed by Council in the fall of 2023, declaring intimate partner violence an epidemic in our city. I wanted to thank the many organizations and community leaders who attended our first session last fall on October 7th. We were all educated and inspired by Ms. Caitlin Bick of Victim Services Toronto. At that meeting, we hosted a lot of service providers. The next step is the meeting we're going to be having next week, in which we'll be hosting our community members. Now, we've had a very good interest in the session, and we're at capacity now with respect to seating. So for those who weren't able to attend this session, we will be hosting additional sessions moving forward in relation to human trafficking, intimate partner violence, internet child exploitation, as well as frauds, often targeting our seniors and other members of our city. As we continue to report and address human trafficking and intimate partner violence, several themes remain consistent and important, and it's important that we continue to talk about these things and recognize them. First, human trafficking and intimate partner violence are not developing issues. They are well established and require a concerted, collaborative, and robust response. Our city is a hub for human trafficking, and this terrible crime is occurring in our city. We're dedicated to working collaboratively with the many dedicated organizations and individuals, including Guelph Wellington Women in Crisis, Guelph Wellington Victim Services, the Guelph General Hospitals, and many others who do this important work and support those impacted. Our service will take a leadership role as we seek to educate our citizens about this important issue, prevent its occurrence, and ensure the victims and survivors of this crime have the supports required. It's also important we will do everything possible to find and hold accountable those who are committing this terrible crime in our city. Monday evening next week, we're going to be having an information session hosted by us in our Emergency Operations and Training Center that will include members of our Special Victims Unit, as well as support and education provided by Guelph Women in Crisis. So I think it's important that we keep talking about this. I think as we move forward together as a community, we're going to learn more, and we're going to do better in supporting those impacted by this crime. So I wanted to give you that update, and I'll stop there in case there's any questions in relation to this before I move on.
Yeah. Are there any questions or comments from the board members? Okay. Thank you.
Next. Oh, sorry, I see Mr. Mayor. Before I move on, Mr. Mayor, do you have any questions? And next, you may have noticed a media release yesterday from the province, as well as one from our service today. Our service is one of several Ontario police services using a new provincial tool aimed at monitoring and sharing information about individuals on bail for firearms-related offences. The new provincial bail compliance dashboard is managed by the OPP, and other participating services include the York Regional Police, the Peel Regional Police, and the Toronto Police Service. The online dashboard provides map-based information about charged persons released on bail for firearms-related offences. This new strategy permits the police to ensure those released on serious firearm-related offences are complying with their bail terms. If they are not, they are either charged or apprehended. In Guelph, this would include not only those charged by our service, as well as those who may be charged by other jurisdictions, but are residing in Guelph. Our participation as one of the first services in this program is a demonstration of our commitment to ensuring we do everything we can to support the safety of our citizens moving forward. I'll stop there, Mr. Mayor, or Mr. Chair, sorry.
Thank you. Okay, any questions or comments arising from? Okay.
Okay. And I want to invite Inspector Goody. As you all know, we've been working really hard with our city and business and community partners in the last several weeks to support our downtown. And I wanted Andrew to have an opportunity to give you an update in relation to that initiative over the last several weeks, couple months.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Chief, and thank you to the board for this opportunity to share with you an update into this public safety initiative our service has endeavored on. As you're aware, in late October, our service deployed a team of 5 officers into our downtown core to provide an increased presence focusing on public safety and enforcement. These additional resources were solely dedicated to the downtown and there to specifically address public safety, including open drug use and associated criminal behaviors. When lawful grounds existed, arrests have been made and drugs have been seized. Officers would then follow the directions as set out in the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act, which directs officers to consider the next appropriate course of action, including warning, referral, or the laying of charges. I think it's important to note here that throughout this initiative, one of the primary responsibilities of this team, though, during any interaction was to ensure that our service provide access to supports for those who are struggling with dependency. Since the start of this initiative, the team has been deployed for more than 50 days of patrol through all areas of our downtown. And here's just a quick summary of some statistics. During these 50 days, over 80 arrests have occurred involving over 55 individuals, meaning there have been some repeat offenders. These arrests have been for various criminal and drug-related offenses, but more than 60 of these arrests were for open drug use or possession. Of these 80 arrests, approximately 50 charges were laid in total. And again, I think it's really important to note here that of those 55 charges, only 9 charges were laid in relation to drug-related offenses. However, various quantities of illicit drugs have been seized, including fentanyl, crystal meth, crack cocaine, methamphetamine, morphine pills, as well as the seizure of weapons, a stolen vehicle, and drug paraphernalia. Another point to consider here is that of those 50 individuals who were arrested, of those 80 individuals that were arrested, more than 50 were on some type of pretrial release order or on probation. These stats clearly demonstrate the efforts of this team to ensure public safety for those who live, work, and visit our downtown. However, just as important as I mentioned earlier is the ongoing support these officers have provided to those that they interact with. The team has really focused on a health-centered approach for this initiative, and I can say that for each interaction they had, every individual was afforded an opportunity to obtain help. This team has put an emphasis on assisting those, with getting help that they truly need. Our team has directly helped members of our community access detox programming, peer support, and obtain medical assistance. 35 of the individuals, or more than 35, were immediately referred to support services through our impact program or welcoming streets. Some of the individuals that we interacted with already had access to support service, and more than 20 individuals who were arrested and released with a warning declined the help that was offered to them by our officers. In the past couple of weeks, we have regularly heard from those that live and work in the downtown their appreciation for the efficient and effective work this team has done to improve safety in the downtown. In conjunction with our other downtown resources, this team has significantly contributed to improving public safety. It is clear demonstration of the effective service our organization can provide to the community when appropriate resourcing is allocated. Pending any questions, sir, that would be my update.
Are there any questions or comments from the members of the board? Mayor Guthrie?
Yes, through your chair, I just have a comment to say thank you very much. The feedback that I have received has been overwhelming in the last couple of months. Face-to-face comments from visitors, businesses, emails of people that were not coming downtown and are now coming downtown because of a lot of these changes. And honestly, the outpouring of thanks and positivity to the atmosphere in our downtown is in many cases directly attributed to taking the safety of our downtown core seriously. And so I just want to thank you very much, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to make a comment.
Councillor Alt.
Thank you very much. First of all, again, I appreciate what the Guelph Police Services has done downtown, but I believe perhaps for Officer Goody or perhaps for Chief Kobe, in terms of what we've done with regards to the downtown, has there been any correlation with what we know has occurred where people have moved? In other words, into the periphery, along the river, so on and so forth. I'm not going to pretend that I think that we've solved the problem. More to the point, I'm concerned that we've pushed the problem elsewhere.
I'll let Andrew speak. Or Andrew, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Thank you, Councillor Alt. No, there was never an intention that the Guelph Police Service would be able to eradicate open drug use. So I'm quite certain that that it still regularly occurs somewhere in our city. And the fact that we're over 50 days of patrol into this project and arrests are still happening for open drug use is a clear indication of that. But to the best of my knowledge and the information that I've received, we have not been informed of any excessive use of open drug use in other areas. And we still continue to work with our other partners, community partners, the City of Guelph, Guelph Bylaw, and our support services to ensure that those who have, moved away from the downtown or into other areas are available for support. And again, we always encourage that if anybody needs help or sees somebody that needs help, they can always contact the Guelph Police and we'll be there to assist.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I just have a follow-up to Andrew, if that's okay.
Oh, by all means, yes, please.
Yep. I just wanted to echo Andrew and Steve and Daryl and I have said this many, many times. When in doubt, please call us. And so, because the reality is, Councillor Alt, you're probably correct that there are other locations, and as we do our best to support the downtown community, we always want to be able to support other communities and individuals. I think an important part of Andrew's update was the engagement that we've been able to help folks get supports as well by linking up with important community service agencies as well. And we're in a state right now where we're constantly monitoring. We've said we want to keep this initiative going as long as possible, and that may look like supporting other neighborhoods. So we're constantly ebbing and flowing with respect to how we can most appropriately respond to support the community safety as well as individuals struggling with those related issues.
And thank you for that. I do remember a statistic that I think I read in the fall, that the preponderance of the use of dangerous substances actually does not occur outside. That what we've identified is 50 days of investigation, possibly arrests, possibly assistance. But that has all been outside. And if, in fact, we've looked at approximately 50, 60 people that we've dealt with, and that's a low percentage, we're dealing with a massive issue within the city itself. Is that correct?
Well, I would want to refer to like our health partners for like actual statistics with respect to the extent of the problem across the city. I can say we have certainly had an impact in the downtown. And to Andrew's point, the goal has been to take a health-centered, supportive approach while also recognizing that our downtown has to be safe and welcoming for all our businesses, visitors, and residents. And I think we've done our very, very best. And I think the response from our community, our businesses, and our health providers shows that we've done our very best to find the appropriate balance between all those considerations.
And again, thank you. I'm sure some of this will come up Monday in the human trafficking and intimate partner violence forum as well.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Mayor Guthrie?
Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you. Just a quick question. Anecdotally, I would imagine that the closure of the encampment in St. George's Square has also contributed quite a bit to, first of all, the positive outcome for the majority of them that actually went into shelter. So that's a good thing. But also, I would submit that the closure of the encampment in the downtown core also has contributed to a lot of the less drug activity, unfortunate trafficking issues that were happening there, violence, other issues that were happening in that area. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I would say there's certainly correlation with the two. I can't guarantee causation, but there's certainly correlation between the timing of our initiative and the encampment closure downtown. Andrew, anything else to add?
No, I think that would be a fair summation of it, Chief. I mean, this initiative ran over a period of time when the encampment existed and it didn't exist as well, right? And I think, again, as I stated in my previous answer, that 50 days into this, we're still affecting open drug arrests. So, yes, I think great summation, Chief. But again, we're never intended to eradicate this, just to make it the community a safer place.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Just goes to show with these initiatives and trying to move people away from encampments into safer places, all of it is combined to create a safer society. And so thank you very much.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
No, I just wanted to kind of echo both the mayor's comments and Andrew's earlier. I think this initiative, as well as other investments we've made, like with our break, enter, and auto theft team, our drug section, I think we've really demonstrated that when we invest, we can show a strong return on that investment for our citizens and for their safety. And I think that that's a theme that we can't really deny based on the data over the last several years. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Chief Kobe and Inspector Goody. I just thank you for the update on what's a very difficult situation and the great progress you've made. Seems like you've been able to find a good balance of support and enforcement. So hopefully we can keep on that positive trajectory. All right, our next item is an information item, and that is understanding human trafficking. As was mentioned in the Chief's report, there will be a public session on put on through Victim Services in Guelph and the Guelph Police Services and Women's in Crisis on Monday, January 20th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Emergency Operations Training Center at the Guelph Police Service headquarters. If anybody wishes to attend, you can register online at guelphpolice.ca. I believe that it is currently full, that it's been very popular, but if there's been any cancellations, that would be where people could reach out to. Our next open meeting is going to be held on Thursday, February 20th, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. via Teams meeting and will be live streamed on YouTube. Can I please have a mover and a seconder for adjournment? Moved by Mr. Sharma, seconded by our Councillor Alt. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you, everybody.